Oh, here we go.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Take Two. Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of A Contagious Smile, Unstoppable. I'm here with your lovely, sexy host, Victoria. She's my vixen. And we have a special guest here today. His name is JJ, y'all.
Y'all.
Hello, everybody.
And he's the CEO and founder of Ripple Retreat.
Now, hold on now.
Uh-oh.
You can't just say we have a special guest. JJ's like a brother to me, so that makes him like your Bill, brother-in-law. Yeah. So give him
You
the
just make that up.
I did, wasn't it great? Quick and great. So you give him the howdy or whatever you rednecks do, and say, welcome.
Take it away, Bill.
Okay, Bill. Hi, JJ.
Hi, Victoria and Michael. It's good to see you.
First of all, from some of us that did not serve, let me thank you both for your service this 4th of July, because this will air tomorrow on 4th of July. So thank you both for your service and what you have done for this country.
Thank you. I
Well, thank
appreciate
you for
that.
thanking us.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome. So I have interviewed JJ before. He's given me such an honor to do it on a major milestone in his life. And I want JJ to kind of tell us how we are partnering up and let him have the floor for a minute because he so deserves it. Go for it. It's all yours.
Well, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate it. It's my honor to be able to partner with you. My name is JJ, and I am the founder of Ripple Retreat, which is a non-alcohol turnkey event center, retreat center, and recovery space. I'm over 6 years sober, like 6.5 years
Sweet.
sober now.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I believe we all put out a ripple. We all touch people's lives, positive or negative. And I like to put out the positive ripple. And with Victoria, we have partnered and teamed up, and we're doing just that with your academy. The everything from, well, the Valor Circles is my niche. It's for the military, and it deals with the PTSD, the coming home, the leaving and going to war and coming back, all of that. And it's been such an honor to be able to work these courses with you. And I look forward to how many lives we're actually going to touch with this. So
That's
thank you.
that's amazing. Now you have actually taken some of the courses, and for
Yes.
all of the many who have yet to do that, can you kind of elaborate without giving them away what it's like and how they are? No judgment, no filter, just go for it.
All right. All right. Well, I spent 27 years in the military, have many deployments, three to Iraq, one to Afghanistan. And there's taking these courses, it speaks to me. I mean, it hits home, like having to redeploy back to where I was lucky to get out of to begin with. I mean, the hard things in life, the fights you have with your family who you love dearly, and you fight with them before you leave, and just things like that. But this course addresses that. And there's exercises in there. There's daily exercises that I absolutely love. I mean, it's like writing yourself a letter, or those exercises really drives home each lesson. And I applaud you on that. You did a really great job of
Thank
building
you.
these courses.
Thank you. He's actually been taking them, and he goes and does them every day. Like he literally goes through and he reads it all, and he's active in doing the independent activity in there. Um, and we have sat down and said, what else is needed? Like, what else can I do? Because I don't want to misrepresent in any way. How and what can we do to impact and help for the better? And so he has given me like how you write that final letter, coming home and leaving that trauma behind. I don't know if you've read yet or gone into the class that I wrote for the individuals that come home with the anger and come home abusive. I don't know if you've gotten into
I
that
have
one.
I have not yet.
Yes. So there is a plethora in there. And then there's also the safe haven Phoenix Center for anybody who's been through abuse, but then there's also Limitless Recovery Tribe for anyone in addiction or recovery. I'm in recovery from abuse now. Everybody doesn't realize that they are in recovery of some sort. So, can you tell us a little bit because of what you do about the recovery and how people can benefit from these courses too?
Oh, certainly. Well, being over 6 years sober, I've gone in and taken recovery coach training. And I also started a recovery meeting every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online or in person here in West Paris, Maine, and attend my recovery meeting called Ripples of Recovery, where those of us who are in long-term recovery, we celebrate and highlight the good in our lives now that we're sober. So it's basically an hour of taking a time out and going, hey, look how far we've come.
Right.
Pat yourself on the back and give yourself some credit, because we're always looking forward and trying to one day at a time. Well, I've been doing one day at a time for a long time. It's time to stop and look back and go, yeah, since I've done this, my family's come back to me, or you just things come into your life because you're sober now, or you're out of the heroin addiction, you're out of the alcohol addiction, or whatever addiction you had that was ruining your life. Now you get to look back and go, hey, I'm actually changing my life. So it's a really great recovery meeting. Ripple Retreat is a beautiful space where we're holding retreats. And last year we held a concert. And it's a 100% sober concert. It's a 100% sober facility. So you could have a wedding here. I'm on 11 acres, and you could have a beautiful wedding here, but it has to be alcohol free. And that's supporting the recovery community. And I have great ties with the recovery community. And this facility, Monday through Thursday, is used for just that. And yeah.
Well, a couple of things. I have been honored to be involved in a couple different Wednesday night meetings with JJ, and it's amazing because he's so full of love and heart when he talks to everyone. He doesn't talk at them; he talks to them, and he really, really listens, which is amazing. And another thing, JJ is very humble. You need to tell everybody he's giving back to the community, and in a way that is so profound that he doesn't really talk about it, and he needs to. So now I'm going to put him on the spot and say, now you got to. See, I'm not a little annoying sister.
Yeah, I love you. You're awesome. Okay, since I am retired and I'm living on a pension, and because I'm sober, I can tap into the resources. The resources being my knowledge and experience, and I'm able to build this company. And this company is actually going to give more than it receives. It's going to give a safe space for people on their retreats, on their weddings, and whatnot, that you are going to pay for no matter where you go. Well, when you pay for it here, your money, the profit I make off of every event that happens here throughout the year, I'm giving 75% of all that profit to the town of West Paris and local charities. So I'm building a new business model that this business gives more than it receives.
Right.
I mean, it gives to the customer who gets to have their retreats. And it gives them a sense of actually doing something for the community, because they're going to pay that money whether they go here or down the street. But their money here actually goes to the community and to charities. And as a company, and since I've been through a lot, I can relate. So I, as Ripple Retreat as a company, will help one homeless family help themselves off the street a year. We're going to take a homeless family under our wing and walk them through, help them get through this process to get off the street.
That's phenomenal.
He's amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
He really is. And he doesn't give himself enough credit. I mean, he really is.
Well, thank you.
Okay, pot.
What?
Call the kettle black.
Right?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You don't take any credit for what you do
Exactly.
either.
What?
You just won so many awards.
No, we
Yep.
won so many. It
See?
wasn't me.
See, there it is.
Yep.
Talk about.
I just explained to the 40 million listeners that I'm out working and you're in
Sleeping.
here Okay, or sleeping. And
Yep.
so they know that you're in here working, conducting all this business. So you won the awards. But did you say I won the awards? No. You say we.
Hmm. Hmm.
So hi pot.
You want to throw anything in here too while you're at it? I'm getting ganged up on here. What?
You are an unsung hero. I mean, you don't give credit to yourself, you give credit to everybody else, but you are driving this beautiful ripple that you're making in this world. You have helped so many people.
Thank
And I
you.
am honored to be collaborating, to partnering with you and working with you. And you don't know it, but you're kind of mentoring me.
Oh,
Oh.
so much. That's all. Oh,
Oh,
see, that's what you get. He just dropped stuff.
drop some of our equipment.
Thank you. That you don't understand.
That was sweet.
That he's like the brother I always wanted. Like he's so sweet, and and it's like I will reach out to him at like it was like last week at like 8 something at night. I'm like, I need to talk to you right now, just for a minute, please, 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 please. So I call him, and he was busy, but he stopped what he was doing and he listened, and I was like, I just gotta tell you, I'm so sorry. I thought you were by yourself. Like I
I was having dinner with a friend,
right,
and but I knew this was important. I could tell by the
right.
energy of your message. I was like, yeah, yeah, okay, I can give
But
you a
it was
minute.
so worth it
Oh, totally, absolutely.
because there is an amazing magazine called Business Life, and I don't want to exclude anything else, but and Business Life interviewed me, and JJ and I are going to be in the article here that's coming out in the next 2 weeks, and it's in the magazine, and it's at
That's
every
fabulous.
like 5-star hotel and Waldorf Astoria and the Ritz and the concierge have it and yada yada like everywhere, and it's in just it's in the lounges at the airport for people to read, and I was like, I gotta call him and tell him, and it was like, and then I just found out yesterday that there are 5 other magazines that launch. I thought it was going to be
What?
spaced out. Yeah,
Just
so I
5?
5. I thought they were going to be spaced out in their publication. I didn't know that it was all going to be like right now. And so
You didn't hear about it, did you?
um
She's
No.
so humble.
um
Yes, she is.
3 are physical in your hand, flip the pages, and digital, and then 2 are just digital. And so I'm getting those. They'll be here Saturday. And of course JJ's in there as well.
Of course.
Mm,
Of course he
thank you.
is.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and it talks about the collaboration of the academy. And hold on, wait, stop, freeze. We got to talk about the fact that we need to mention what's going on July 13th, which is the webinar. So you
Heck
two
yeah.
can talk about it. Go ahead.
That's your cookie.
Well,
You
you like my cookies, so go ahead and start.
easy greasy. Keep
Start.
this PG.
You never keep our podcast PG.
Holy mackerel.
I also just found out that we are going to be in Podcaster Magazine.
Yeah, that that is cool.
So yes, and we have to use
That's not enough, JJ.
No,
we
that's
And
not enough.
we have to use an example of a podcast for everybody to tune in and check out, and I'm going to use this one.
of course.
So there you go. And I appreciate Women's Weekly, Women's Empowerment Savvy. Let me think. There's Women's Insider Weekly just give us another global award, and then Evergreen give us an award. We got special needs, best special needs platform globally. We got okay. I can't change the title of the award, but best transformative trauma domestic violence advocate. That was mine. And
That's a
then
mouthful.
right, and that's
Yeah.
hard for me right now with my speech issue going on. And then we also got best advocate domestic violence and abuse and recovery support system. So I mean, yes, and it's not just me, it's a village, which is you and JJ.
You say we're the village people?
Why?
And
See?
yeah,
Okay, JJ. So
I'm,
go back to your sobriety.
well, no,
yes,
I was
sir.
just talking about the webinar too.
Well, I'm talking about his sobriety. So I give up all my hooch. I give up beer,
Favorite.
Yes.
and I'm just drinking wine every once in a while. But I got fatter.
Mm.
I put on like 20 something pounds, man. How's that possible? Why is that?
Because you're eating your addiction instead.
I mean, I didn't have an alcohol problem. I just drunk it because I like the taste of beer. You know,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Uh-huh.
You like the taste of a lot of things.
hey, PG woman,
What?
PG. So yeah, I was just curious. Did you find that that was happening in your life?
uh,
That you
for
kind of
me,
traded one for one, or
I
did the
I
pounds
did,
come
but
on?
I no, I traded. I took exercise up instead of drinking. I mean, I exercise anyway, but when
Right.
I was craving, I would go for a run. Or, I mean, during the hard times, there's a lot of exercise. I ran a lot of miles,
Okay.
but you got to do something, and you're going to replace it one way or another. And if you can replace it with a positive habit that enhances your life, that's the best thing you can do.
Sure.
But
That's
try
awesome.
to keep it in moderation.
So also, I wanted to piggyback off. You mentioned, you served overseas a couple tours.
Mhm.
I did not go overseas. Okay, I was here CONUS when I was in the Air Force. I just fixed the aircraft, put the
Right,
Army on it and let them go over there and fight the wars. But I
right.
did my part,
Yes,
and the
sir.
planes made it safely there and safely back. So I know I did my part. My PTSD, JJ, came mostly from being in law enforcement. Okay.
Really? Yeah.
I did 13 and a half years, and I was a police officer, private detective, sheriff's deputy, and canine.
Mm, mm.
So when you're in that type of situation, you're always watching your back. You know your surroundings. You watch people. You
Yep.
watch hands
Yep.
kill, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
you never know. No, I'm not making fun of my one armed wife. um you never know going into situations, what's going to transpire, especially
Right.
domestic violence calls.
Right. Oh
As a
yeah.
police officer, you get them away from the kitchen, you separate the individuals, you always have a backup officer. But oh, I'm sorry, I'm off camera. Sorry, buddy. um but yeah, my PTSD came from being a cop mostly. um
Yeah.
I saw shadow men coming out of my wall, and being young and in law enforcement, you think you always got to sleep with a gun, in between your mattress, up
Hmm.
under your pillow,
Hmm.
whatever.
Right.
Um, but when you draw your weapon at the shadow man coming out of your wall, and your weapon, it happens to be pointed across the stomach of your wife at the time, that's when you take a step back, said, "What's going on here? You know,
Right.
what am I doing? How can I fix this?" Because I'm scaring the hell out of you know, the current wife.
Not this one.
And come on, dog, get out of here. My dog just came up.
That's because he realizes and
Stop.
senses you need him.
Oh,
That's my stepmom. He,
probably right.
yes, I know I'm right.
So yeah, um,
I know.
yeah, I just it's gotten a
So
lot better.
yeah,
Uh, you know,
how have you been working through that?
uh, being with my soulmate right here, this
Yeah.
lovely young lady. Uh,
Hmm.
we found out that I pretty much stopped having the night terrors. Not really, but they're a lot less frequent. Okay.
Right. Right.
Um, because I feel safe. Okay.
Mm.
When I lay in bed with her, um, I know I have a safe partner there beside me, that's going to be there for me. I know she's not running around on me. I don't have to worry about that. Um, she's got my back. So I
Right.
feel that secure. She's my security blanket.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that's the dogs help. Our dogs help tremendously because they're extra ears for us.
Right.
I'm an old
Right.
guy. I'm 51 years old, so I'm
Yeah.
losing my hearing. Don't say anything, wife.
Huh?
My
Mhm.
wife's almost lost her hearing, brother.
No, I'm
Oh yeah.
99% in the right and 90 in the
Hmm.
left.
Yeah.
So, and my speech is taking a turn.
Mhm.
Everybody's telling me, "Did you mean to say this? Because you said this," and like my pronunciation is taking its toll in effect. And
When are you getting the implant?
I had imaging done today, and
Did you?
believe it or not, insurance doesn't cover it. It's $300,000.
Holy
Yes.
Toledo.
So I'm trying to appeal it, but worst case, I can't wear hearing aids bilaterally because it makes it more confusing for me in this ear. So I don't know. The doctor's going to see what he can figure out, and we're going to go from there. But I did the imaging today and the horrific test on Tuesday. So yeah, now we just sit
Hmm.
wait. So let's talk about something other than me. Let's talk about the webinar on the 13th.
Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed.
So, and my husband said to me, "I'm going to put you in the hot seat with JJ and have him talk about you." And I was like, "Oh, look, there's Coda." See that? And people would think I said squirrel, but Coda is JJ's dog. I love Coda. Coda's beautiful,
Husky.
Siberian Husky. Yep.
beautiful
With
eyes.
blue
Oh,
eyes.
she's gorgeous. So I wasn't like squirrel. So,
Victoria's dog has doo-doo brown eyes.
Victoria's dog is a red-headed golden retriever who is amazing and the icon for
Nice.
Stucco Squad. So, shh,
Yay. Yes.
that's right. So let's talk, gentlemen, about the webinar on the 13th.
You have some awesome folks coming on.
Yeah, I'm looking at one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on there too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to
But
be part of this.
yes, amazing, amazing lineup. We have JJ coming on. We have Susan O'Millan, who's amazing. She was an individual lady who opened the very first rape crisis center. She has an amazing story. It's heart wrenching. It is a story about her niece being murdered on campus by her
Mm.
ex, and that is very, very challenging. I did just finish creating a course in honor of her.
Really?
I did.
That's awesome.
And it's not live yet because she wants to get, respectfully so, she wants to get the
Mhm.
parents of Maggie's permission to do it. Even though there's no last names mentioned. I am trying to get Keelan and JJ to meet. I think that will be a phenomenal mix. My husband has met Keelan. He is a force to be reckoned with. He's absolutely amazing. He is a pistol, to say the least.
Mhm.
He's going to be on. He's in recovery. He is just a huge heart. Just this, and he wants to help as many people as he can. He's just phenomenal. So, and then we have a huge lineup, and it's great. So, why don't you tell us why we're doing it, JJ? What is the reason behind the webinar?
The reason behind the webinar is because this is the entrepreneurs who have made it. We, the best of the best. I mean, we should have failed. And my story, I have a ripple that I would love to share that caused my trajectory. The I'm here because of Commander Murphy Sweet. My best friend in Iraq, who was killed 2 days after I got home from Iraq on April 7th, 2007. Because of him, I'm alive today, and I am recovering, and I'm giving these tools, and I'm able to make something out of it. And I have. Um, I recently got a letter from a senator
I was just going to mention
congratulating me.
that.
Get out. Congratulations.
I was
Thank
just
you.
gonna say, where's the letter? We gotta mention the letter. You have to give a little bit, JJ. You gotta explain how Major Sweet did what he did for you.
Commander, it's Commander Murphy Sweet.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Navy. He was a Navy commander, and so as an alcoholic and having retired from the military, I was free to do anything I want. I'm single. I was backpacking the world literally for 8 months, going anywhere I wanted, wherever the wind blew, I went, and I was drinking the entire time. And you'd think I'd be happy. I was in Australia, but I found myself on top of a condo getting ready to take a head dive into the asphalt, 3 stories down. I was upset
Wow.
because I'm going to really devastate my family, my children. And I got to the point of I was going through with it. I got dizzy. I was getting ready to do it. And Commander Murphy Sweet popped in my head. and it felt like a hand hitting my chest. And I stopped and I thought, oh my God, he gave his life and I'm getting ready to throw mine away. So I stopped. I climbed back over that railing. And long story short, he stopped me from killing myself. I ended up learning how to be my own hero, loving myself, and getting myself out of that hole. I even reached out for help. I was in Australia and I got so desperate, I grabbed my phone and I dialed 911. And in Australia, I got a message, Neener, your call cannot be completed. I was like, oh man. So that was when it was like I got a tap on my shoulder. Say, you got to be a hero to yourself. You've been a hero to so many in the world. It's time you be a hero to yourself. And I did. And it was all because of Commander Murphy Sweet. And because of him, I'm sober and I'm on the track that I'm on. And I'm looking to open Ripple Retreat completely for profit for the community on the 20th anniversary of his death. So that will be April 7th, 2027.
All right.
Amazing. And
Awesome.
because it's 4th of July and we're going to, thank everybody for the services that y'all did, I'm going to put both of you in the hot seat for just a second. And I am going to ask JJ to tell the sock story about how you are such a hero to many. And I want you just to give that, because that story just stays with me. It moves me. And I'm going to give my hero story of my husband. But I want you to
You are my hero.
I want you to tell the sock story, if you will.
I'd be honored to. Yeah, January 23rd, 2007, actually. I picture that you're in Baghdad, Iraq, in the international zone, working endless hours. And my boss let me off work early at 7:30 at night. I had worked, I've been there since like 6 o'clock that morning. And I ran home and I grabbed my laundry. And I ran in, and we're in barracks. They were the Iraqi soldier barracks, but we were occupying them in the IZ. And I went to do my laundry, and normally I take my laundry and just dump the whole thing in the washer, throw some detergent, slam the lid, and walk off. Well, I was talking to a buddy earlier that day about, we were in the gym working out, and I looked at his socks, his white short socks, and was like, how do you keep your socks white? And he goes, well, you turn them right side out. And I got thinking, oh yeah, when I take them off, I don't. Okay. So when I did the laundry, I stopped and I dumped it all out on the dryer, and I turned 3 pairs of socks right side out. And then I scooped it and I went to walk back the direction I had come, and a mortar came in and hit the end of the building, right where I was going to be. So had I not turned those socks right side out, I would have been on the stairwell going down where this mortar had hit. And it hit so hard and was so loud. You ever see that scene in Private Ryan where he can't hear anything?
Right, right.
Oh, that's real. That's real. And talk about the percussion, everything.
Just, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And after that shock wore off, a guy came out of his room and said, hey, Joe was in his room, and he was the room on the end of the building. So I ran down there and we couldn't get into his door. So I ended up kicking in a blast-proof window out of the center block wall. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And when I grabbed that window and I threw it out, I looked in and I saw Joe sitting half on his bed with literally a brick sticking out of the side of his head, because he was standing next to the wall that the mortar had hit. I went to unlock the door, and just as my hand had unlocked it, the door popped open. It was the medics. That they were there that second. They scooped him up and got him to the hospital, the cache, which we call the cache.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of days later, I finally got in touch with the doctor to find out how he was doing, and he said he was in a coma. And he said, had it taken a minute or two longer to get him to the hospital, he would not have made it because of swelling on the brain. His name is Joe. The incident was January 23rd, 2007. And I don't know anything more, all other than he was sent to Landstuhl in Germany. And from there, I don't know. I've never found out. So if anybody's listening to this and they know of this incident, please let me know. I would really like to know how Joe's doing.
Or reach out to us and we'll let you know how he's
All
doing.
right. Oh, for
Any
sure.
way possible. Let us know. Absolutely.
God, just think about how many seconds that was to flip those socks.
Maybe
Oh,
10, 15
and
seconds. I don't know.
just a few seconds, could have changed your life or ended it rather.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So that's yeah, I had four close calls that first tour. I mean, yeah, and the tough day nobody tells you about. It's not when you get home and you're reacclimating to your family and you're not walking around expecting to get shot at or mortars
Right.
to fall out of the sky. The really tough day is when you get on the plane to go back to Iraq, back to that deployment that you were lucky to survive. And then you get orders to go back. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm writing death letters. I'm writing letters to my kids because I'm not going to come back this time. And then you say goodbye to your family and knowing that you are going to your death. It didn't happen, but that's the way I felt because I
Right.
barely escaped. My world, anyway. And yes, I was not a front linesman. I was not out there every day in the red zone. Um, I went out there a few times, but I was in the IZ most of the time, and that was just random mortars that would be lobbed in.
What's an
Um,
IZ?
That's crazy.
in international zone, right
Okay.
in the middle of Baghdad. They got Saddam's headquarters and all that good stuff, and they walled it off, and they called it the international zone, and that's where all the countries came together to operate out of Iraq,
Mhm.
out of Baghdad. Um, so all the NATO forces, and it's international zone, IZ. And we call it the green zone because all your weapons are on safe. And you call it the red zone when you go outside the red zone because you lock, load, and click your weapon to unsafe, which is red. So those are little terms that go with the deployment.
Huh.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you took those few seconds,
Me
brother.
too.
Me too.
Because you're what you're doing now, your mission, you're impacting others. So and all it
Thank
takes
you.
is one. Like like my wife got an email or a letter or something from one of the many who have read her book and said that your book saved my life.
Nice,
So that that
nice,
that's all worth it, in my opinion.
absolutely. Yes, sir. That's that ripple I'm talking about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, because I didn't serve in the military, you guys can't give me a hard time on this, which is great. For that reason. But my husband, even though he did serve, I have to tell my hero story here is that
Yes.
my husband was my call for help during my abuse. And not only that, but he also went with me to court. And so many people didn't understand that we were sitting in the courtroom. He was sitting beside me, and I leaned over to him and said, "He's here." And he was like, "What?" And he had already met him in the beginning. And he told him, "If you hurt her, I'll kill you." That's what he told him in the beginning. And I said, "He's here." And he said, "No, he's not." And not even 5 seconds later, he opens the doors and walks through the courtroom. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching them both. And then I call him idiot, gets up to go out of the courtroom for a minute, and out goes my husband, Michael. He's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And they both are now out of the courtroom, and I'm like, "This is when I want to go in the men's room. Like, I want to know what's going on, what's happening, whatever." That was like the
Mm-hmm.
longest 5 minutes of my life
Mm-hmm.
because in walks idiot first, and I'm looking for like dislocations, blood, something, and I don't see anything.
Right.
In he walks, And he's sitting there and I'm looking at his knuckles. I'm looking to see, if he
Right,
hit
right,
me.
right,
Right. And
right.
I'm sitting there and I look at him and I was like, what happened? And he goes, there are some things you just don't need to know. And I'm like, well, this isn't one of them. Like, I need to know what happened. And to this day, it's my seventh wonder, if you will, because I have no clue what happened. Eighth wonder, whatever. I have no idea what happened in that situation. I don't know whatever happened. But he was there for me. He went to court with me several times. He came up and I remember the first time he met our daughter, he was like, I still have the text message he sent and he went, oh shit, I didn't realize it'd be somebody as beautiful as you. And he's like, I'm in trouble. And I still have that very text message. And he gave me the little poop emoji and all, and it was just like, and now he's adopted
Aw.
her and that's his baby. And yesterday she went and tattooed, oh my god, she went and got a daddy's girl tattoo yesterday, and it's the whole inside. I'll text you a picture of it. The whole inside of the forearm. He said to her
Wow.
when we almost lost her last year, he said to her, he whispered to her as he kissed her on the forehead, choose your destiny. And so
Hmm.
she tattoos this hand of a like a big guy dad hand with his pinky holding a little girl's hand with a ribbon
Mhm.
around it that says choose your destiny, and it's his daddy daughter, and it is
Nice.
gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
Nice. Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Yep.
Yes, it was so sweet. It
Oh.
was so giving and loving. And, she's like, I love you. And mommy always said, the only person to ever be my dad is you. And everybody who knows them knows they prank each other and love to kid around. And she's like, but if you ever cheat on mom, I'm castrating you. Like, that was
Oh my
right
God.
after the tattoo. Like, they're hugging, he's crying. It's a beautiful
There was
moment.
pollen. Okay, let's.
There was no pollen.
There was
Yeah.
pollen.
I videoed it. No,
There was pollen. There was a window open somewhere. There was pollen.
that's it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you know how it is, JJ.
Whatever.
Pollen.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
so and we're going, like, it's beautiful because in these days today, people don't want to pay it forward. They're so self-involved, so self-centered. It's like they don't care about anyone but themselves. And when you have statistics like 1 in 4, and that could be a wife, a mom, a daughter themselves, it could be, any of these individuals, God forbid, that are in a trauma related situation, or they're dealing with, being in recovery themselves, or they are in the trenches of it with special needs individuals like themselves or their children. And then you have these academy, I mean, these courses. We've seen courses that are three, four, 500 to $2,500 a
Oh yeah.
piece.
Mhm.
And like our stucco squad, majority of them are free, some of them are $4.99 at most, because all we're trying to do is be able to continue to pay for the platform and all of the other software and expenses that it costs to put them on month after month. Michael and I've never taken a paycheck. I've been doing the A Contagious Smile for 19 years. He's been with me on it now for 5. The launching of the academy, none of it, we've never taken a single penny. And it's
Wow.
tough. It is so tough because we've been financing it ourselves. But if somebody comes and says, I can't afford it, the 4.99, or, because most of them we try to make sure are free. Everything in the Valor Circle is free. But
Yep.
we have people who donate, and it's a buy my coffee. We had someone the other day give us 15 coffees, which was amazing.
Nice.
And we were so honored. And that gives us
Thank you,
fifth,
Corey.
yes, that gives us 15 additional opportunities to help others and still
Right.
stay on doing what we do, which is why we're doing the webinar. Every single penny goes back into this scholarship fund to help others that never get turned away, that literally, need someone to say, I'm here. And all three of us know what that's like. I'm here. You're not alone. We're here for you. It may be dark right now, but that tiny little flicker of light is going to start a wildfire, and we're going to help you every step of the way. And you're not alone. You are not alone. I watched JJ in his meetings, and he is just, since we saw you last, how's it been? Or how's this going? And it's not, so many people just sit and they just listen, but they don't take in. They, or they talk at you, not to you. And that's not how he is. That's not how we are. And that's what makes such a huge difference, is because it's so hard to find people who actually are authentic and they care. And that's why I'm so glad that we have partnered with JJ like we have. And JJ's actually going to start teaching
Yes, I am.
through
I,
us.
good.
Yeah, you want to?
I
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah, let him tell you about it there, pumpkin.
yeah, going through the course, I couldn't help. But with my experience and whatnot, I feel called to teach the course and be there to help others because, you know, recovery is possible and community is the cure. And when you're taking a course like this, it's fine doing it by yourself. But if you have somebody there to help you or just to go through it with you, each course, like one course a week,
Mm-hmm.
that would help. I mean, and we build a community that way. And that's one of the things I love about the recovery community. And you mentioned earlier that you said everybody's selfish. There's a lot of people who aren't. There's a lot of beautiful in this world. There is a ton of beauty and humanity and kindness and integrity and love out there. It's just we don't get to see it very often.
Yep.
So
Right.
it takes us to highlight it. I mean, I have a podcast called What's Your Ripple? And I interview people whose lives have been changed by somebody. And I ask them, what is your ripple today because of that person? And I'm up to 13 episodes. As a matter of fact, I just recorded an episode recently with a very, very special guest from A Contagious Smile, Victoria herself. What? Yes, and I'll be
I
putting that
paid him
out
to
soon.
say that.
I hope you got it more than $5.
I got the family discount.
Yes.
So it seems like
But,
y'all have a connection there.
yeah, for sure. And it's an honor to be able to get to teach. I'm looking to step it up by this fall. Um, and it'll be fun. I'm
Well,
looking forward to it.
good. I understand this webinar will bring, to light a lot of folks like you and Victoria who are, helping others,
Yeah.
selflessly. So I don't know what the other guests, bring to the table. I don't know their platforms, their podcasts, but I know my wife's excited about a lot of them coming on.
I'm excited about all of them
Now I
that are
know
coming
Whitney. I
on.
know Whitney, and I know she does a podcast.
Yeah, she does. But he's also not only going to do that, he wants to do a men's group as well. And it would be great since I can't do the men's group that you do the men's group with it.
You can identify a man as a man.
Well, this is men only. There are plenty of women's groups out there.
There are.
There's this men's only group, and it is just to talk about
Women.
stuff
Yeah.
that
Obviously.
troubles us. Yes, talk about
Well,
women. Uh-huh.
yeah, that's one of them. What? Women, I mean, women, you as a woman don't trouble me. That's not what, yeah. Okay, next subject.
Yeah. So yeah. You're a smart man.
So down in Florida, we had a hunting club, and it was no women allowed, right? Because when not that women don't go hunting, okay, y'all don't get me wrong, but when you go out there with other men, you feel more relaxed. You can scratch your butt and pick your nose and burp and fart and
You do all that
Yeah.
now.
well, yeah, that's because we're married. I'm
But
not.
if you're in a group of strangers and there's a woman there,
That's
I mean,
right.
it's the same thing for women's groups. I've I've been to a lot of different recovery retreats in different groups, and one group was like, I was like, oh man, that's perfect for me, but it's women only, and I don't understand why. And then it's like, wait a second, you put your shoe on the other foot, and you put yourself in their shoes, and if there is a male present, they're not going to open up as much. It will, there will be an influence. There will be a safety issue there. And same thing for a men's group. I mean, we're guys. We're gonna talk, and yeah, the men's group talks about feelings too. I mean, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, but if a woman is present, it would be not as open. So
Right.
looking forward to that.
And that's on the 13th.
No, that's the
No,
No,
webinar.
no, right. The webinar. Because
He's talking
webinars on the.
right. He's talking about leading a men's group
Yes.
in the fall when he starts teaching.
And going back to the webinar.
Ah.
Yeah.
You can't be tired. You just woke up.
I barely took a 10-minute nap
You
for an
took
hour.
30 minutes.
Yeah, that was a 10-minute nap.
There you go.
Seriously?
Yes, you're funny.
No.
Well, I'm looking forward to the webinar and how many people we can reach with it, and really push on the academy and see how many people can get in. Um, the more we get in there, the more
Yeah.
experience and it's going to grow. It's
Yep.
going to be big.
And I wish more people would really get to know JJ because he is so humble and genuine and sweet and authentic. And he doesn't give himself
No,
stop.
thank you.
He doesn't give himself enough credit. That sock story gets me every time. You know, if
That's
when I met him, I was told you got to hear the sock story, and I was like, what? And then I heard it, and I was like, oh, I wasn't prepared. But the genuineness of this individual and how charismatic he is, and how he will bend over backwards for people he cares about. It's so hard to find these days, and for what he's doing to create, he made a beautiful pond in the back. Everything. His property is gorgeous, number one, and for him to give back 75% back into the community when he could be pocketing it
sure.
himself and doing all
Oh
this,
yeah.
but that is not who he is. That's not JJ. That's not who JJ is. And I mean, that's there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, there really is. He's just a stand up.
Well, I learned I've learned that gratitude grows gratitude. Love grows love. I mean, whatever you focus on, you get. So, I mean, if you give, you get. I mean, and I get to give more and more and more. It just grows. It's beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, I like him. So he's a good guy.
Yes, he
Well,
is.
thanks. I'll pay you all later.
Yeah. $5.
What
Yeah.
What are you most proud of for this Independence Day? Like,
That we still have independence.
Hmm.
I mean, so what JJ did was go overseas to fight the terrorism over yonder. I stayed here and did my little
Hmm.
part, but
Hmm.
we're trying to keep the terrorism and the communism out of this country as much as possible, right? You know,
Yeah,
not
and your little part, not a little part. Damn. I mean, we all. It takes a team.
right.
So you did your part. I mean, we've all, and I appreciate and thank you for your service, and especially, wow, 13 years as a police officer. And yeah, that's tough.
Well, like I said, I've moved around a bit, but um, it's not for everybody. It's I don't know if it's a calling or a special drive, to be
Right.
military or to be law enforcement
or both.
or both.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my family were in law enforcement, and some of them were military. So I just kind of follow the footsteps.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well,
to me, JJ, I encourage every high schooler get out of high school, go in the military.
oh, heck yeah.
Okay, to me,
Absolutely.
cut that umbilical cord from mom. You know, get away, get out there. Dad may be ready to get rid of you, but get out there, learn how to get in debt, learn how to get out of debt. You got a guaranteed job for at least 4 years. You're not going to get fired. You may get in a little trouble, a little disciplinary action. Being stupid, but you know, get out there and learn and live, and then go back to your college or double dip. You know,
So I advise everybody, especially kids that are looking to go to college. I mean, you spend a lot of money and go in very deep debt for 4 years of college. Okay, go in the Air Force, go in the Army, whatever. You do 4 years in the Air Force, let's say. During that time in the Air Force, you go through training and you get college credits for that training.
mm,
Also, you can go to night courses and take your college courses and get your associate's degree easy in the 4 years while you're in the military. And it's all paid for 100%. All these classes are free. So you can get out after 4 years and have a 2-year degree, and you have your GI Bill that will pay 100% of your full-time college plus give you a housing allowance. So spend the next 2 years going to school. And then after 6 years, you have 4 years of experience and a 4-year education, and it's all paid for.
Right.
So when you go to get a job after your 6 years and you apply, you're going to be definitely
You're
way
way at
above
the top of the list. Yeah.
than that 4-year grad who has 2 years of experience at the lowest
Mhm.
job that they got right out of college.
Entry level position. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right there with you, Michael, and I'm encouraging to go in the military and serve.
Good.
And
You know,
indeed,
my wife's abuser, he was military.
yes,
So she had somewhat of a bad taste for the
mm-hmm,
military because of that stigma, but not
right.
not all members of the U.S. Armed Forces are that way.
No, and I
No,
say that all the time. I always thank everybody for their service, and I always use
yes,
the analogy like I just had a bad orchard of apples that were rotten to the core. Like, but you were Air Force. I knew that with I was with you, and he was Air Force. And it's like not everybody is bad. It's just that group was bad.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
I'm glad that you made it out, Victoria.
Thank you.
I'm
I am
glad
too.
Michael was your hero.
Yes. See?
Yeah, I got a damn good daughter out of it deal.
Yes, you did. And a wonderful wife.
You know,
Did you what he said? Did you hear him? Did you hear him? Mm. Mm-mm.
she's got me in the
Mm-hmm.
fad now where we all got tattoos of something dealing with all three of us on our bodies now. So
Yeah.
anyway, so happy 4th of July, brother. And you know,
Yes, you
Safe
too. Happy Fourth.
travels.
yeah,
Thank you
safe,
very much.
dude.
Safe
I've
travels.
I've did that before. I drove down from Washington State, all the way down to Georgia, and
Yeah.
then to Florida, and that 3,000-mile journey is no fun,
Yeah. For the
especially going through
listeners,
Texas.
yeah. For those listening, I'm getting ready to leave Saturday morning, going with a friend, and they're moving to Arizona, and I volunteered to help drive. So we got a 3,000-mile road trip coming up starting Saturday.
And how long do you think it'll take you to get there?
Oh, probably about 4 days.
Yeah,
That's
4 days.
41 hours. It's 41 hours of driving. And between two of us, we'll take shifts, and we'll make it less than
Yeah.
4 days.
Wow.
But I
That's
mean, we can probably make it in two. It depends. I mean, once you get rolling, you just go gas stop to gas stop,
Yep.
coffee to coffee, and one sleeps and the other drives, and before you
just
know it, 2 days later, you're there.
just be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will, of course.
Just be
Oh
safe.
yeah.
All that
Yes.
matters.
And how can people get to your podcast?
I was just gonna say that.
Ah, wonderful. Well, you can go to Spotify and just Google or search "What's Your Ripple," or you can go to my website, which is ripple-retreat.com. And please don't forget about the dash, because the dash connects the retreat to the ripple and the ripple to the retreat. So easily ripple-retreat.com. And on the website has links to the website, also has links to resources, has links to my Wednesday night meeting. And if you go through the website and you feel called to support the Ripple, because Ripple Retreat has become a cause. It's not just me anymore. It is a lot bigger than me. And if you want to be part of something bigger than you can easily sign up to volunteer. You can go to what's called Buy Me a Cup of Love, or Buy a Cup of Love, because I took Buy Me a Coffee and changed it to Buy a Cup of Love. And that money goes directly to me building this. I'm right now, I have a yoga studio that I'm putting a bathroom to. I'm building a bathroom right next to it. So I can have recovery meetings and then yoga and all these events in this space. I was missing a bathroom and it costs money. So I've been getting donations, and those donations go directly to building this retreat,
And he's been
this
doing the
space.
bathroom building himself, like
Right.
Oh
legitimately.
yeah.
He's
Oh yeah.
drywalling, he's doing the work. He's not spending the money hiring it out. He's actually doing it, which,
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said for that. And if you go to the Academy website, any of the courses in the Valor Circle, and they are making their way into the recovery collection, you will see his website as well, and how you can get a hold of him. All of his information will also be on the show notes, so you can see that there. But he is all in the Academy. You can find him in there. He is a member in there, and everybody should support him
That's
any way
right.
Yeah,
possible.
thank you.
Can't wait for
Thank you.
your class to come through the website,
The
Yeah.
Academy.
the academy.
I'm gonna let JJ
Yeah.
take us out because I love the way he closes off a podcast.
I heard you do.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna let
do.
you close it.
Well, I'll give a little bit of backstory to it. My key to my sobriety is learning to love myself enough to keep myself from doing bad things, love myself enough to not drink, to better my life. And my tagline for Ripple Retreat is to please pause, take time just to pause, love yourself, and be aware of your ripple. It's
That's
that
awesome.
simple.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
Because, I mean, if you are angry, for example, road rage, and you get to your destination, or you get home from work and you've had a bad day at work and a bad day um, driving home, and you get in the house, and you just before you walk in the house, just pause for a minute and love yourself for doing an amazing job at work and holding yourself together, or feel the feelings or whatever, and then be aware of that energy that you have and that ripple you're going to make. Is it going to be a positive one, or is it going to be a negative one? So it's just a nice reminder.
Yes.
Really simple.
Thank you
Well,
so much for
thank you, brother.
arranging your evening to do this for us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been an honor and a joy. I love you guys. You're a lot of fun.
Oh.
Oh,
She's the fun one.
yeah. And together, think of the ripples we're making.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
That's right.
So happy 4th to everybody.
Yes, happy
Thank you
4th.
again for everybody who has served. You are
Yes.
not forgotten, and we will not let you be forgotten.
No, not at all. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Contagious Smile Unstoppable with Victoria, Michael, and JJ.